Welcome to this session on navigating the most significant technological shift of our generation. We are moving beyond the initial excitement of artificial intelligence and into the era of strategic execution. To succeed, organizations must prepare now in order to capture AI value as the window for early mover advantage is rapidly closing. AI is powerful, but business context is missing in most of the off-the-shelf solutions. Large language models don't naturally know your internal workflows, your specific client nuances, or your unique competitive edge. Our goal today is to provide the framework to close the gap between promise and practice. It isn't enough to simply have access to the technology. You must have the internal infrastructure to make it work for you. For example, a law firm might use a generic AI to draft a contract, but without their specific historical clauses and risk preferences and policies and practices, that draft is useless. We're here to ensure your AI strategy is grounded in your specific reality. Every day, we see viral videos of AI agents performing complex tasks, and it's true that AI demos often look effortless. These highly curated examples suggest that transformation is as simple as flipping a switch. However, when we try to implement those tools in operations, generic output is the most common result. You end up with emails that sound like robots and marketing copy that says nothing unique about your brand. Worse yet, we see broken automation where tools fail to connect properly, creating more work for your team instead of less. The hard truth is that gains fail without the right foundation. Think of it like buying a high-performance sports car but having no fuel and no paved roads. The technology is capable, but the environment is not ready. A business trying to automate customer service without a documented knowledge base will only succeed in frustrating their customers even faster. We must fix the foundation before we expect the results. As businesses scramble to adopt this technology, we see two approaches in the market emerging. The first is technology first, where leaders operate under the assumption that AI will run it all. AI will do everything for me. These companies buy dozens of subscriptions, hire prompt engineers, and wait for the magic to happen. Unfortunately, because they haven't defined their own processes and policies, the AI has nothing to anchor to, leading to chaotic results. On the other side, we have the foundation-first mindset. Now, these leaders say, get ready, then scale. They understand that AI is an accelerator, not a replacement for your own business logic. They document their tribal knowledge and clean up their data before plugging in the tools. History shows that in every technological revolution, the winners prioritize readiness over hype. A retail company that tries to use AI for inventory management without accurate stock records will fail, whereas one that cleans its data first will thrive. We want you to be in the second category. So why does readiness matter more than the tools themselves? It's because of a fundamental mismatch. AI large language models, they are generalists. It has read the entire internet, but it doesn't know your specific business. Your firm, however, is unique in its own right. You have unique ways of doing things that no model can predict out of the box. And this creates a massive knowledge gap. An LLM can't guess your specific tools, standards, policies, or workflows. If you don't bridge the gap with documentation, the AI is essentially just guessing. And as we all know, in a professional environment, guessing is dangerous and leads to hallucinations. By focusing on readiness, you ensure safe, reliable AI adoption. We need to remember that context is king, and your context is different from your neighbours. Tools like ChatGPT or Claude are becoming commodities. Everybody has access to them. So your competitive moat protecting you isn't the tool. It's the context that you provide to it to work within. That context is what turns a generic response into a valuable business asset. At the heart of our strategy is the concept of the source of truth, or SOT. This is not just a folder on a server. It is the definitive repository of your core operating knowledge and philosophy. Think of it as the master blueprint for your organization. Now, most companies have got some form of standard operating procedures, but these are often left on the shelf, out of date, or ignored. We call these drifting SOPs. Your SOT is different because it is not drifting SOPs. It's a stable reference point. To maintain its integrity, you must only define by adding or removing to avoid conflict. This means there's no version 2 or version 3 floating around. There is only the current truth. For instance, if you're a consulting firm, your SOT defines exactly how you calculate project margins. If one partner uses a spreadsheet and another uses a napkin, your AI will be hopelessly confused. But by centralizing this knowledge, you give the AI a single, unshakable foundation to work from, preventing errors and ensuring consistency. To make this manageable, we break the business down into 4 key areas to document. We would typically start with sales and marketing, which is often the easiest place to see immediate AI wins through content generation and lead qualification, for example. Next is fulfillment or delivery. This is where your unique value proposition lives. If you're a landscape design firm, this is where you document your specific plant selection criteria and installation standards. Thirdly, we address operations and admin. This is the boring but critical stuff like invoice processing, HR policies, and internal communications. Finally, we look at customer service and support. By documenting your common FAQs and your tone of empathy, you can train AI to handle 80% of support tickets with human-like quality. Imagine a software company that documents its troubleshooting steps for its top 50 bugs. Once that's in the SOT, an AI agent can solve those problems for customers instantly, 24/7, without ever needing to escalate to a developer. This structure ensures that no part of your business is left behind in the AI transition. While we're focusing on the source of truth today, it's important to acknowledge that there are other areas to consider that we're not covering today, which form the broader AI strategy. We must eventually look at data foundations. That's where your data is stored and how clean it is. There's also technology infrastructure, which involves the actual software stack and the security protocols that you use. And of course, we can't ignore people and skills. Your team needs to know how to interact with these new colleagues. Cultural readiness is perhaps the most underrated. Does your team feel threatened or empowered by AI? And finally, there are critical issues of ethics, governance, and compliance to ensure that you aren't accidentally leaking sensitive data or introducing bias. For example, a financial services firm can have the best SOT in the world, but if their technology infrastructure isn't secure, they can't deploy AI safely. Now, we'll touch on these in future sections, but for now, let's stay focused on the knowledge foundation that makes the tools actually work. If you're wondering where to start, we always recommend you start with marketing because of the faster wins typically in most businesses. Because marketing can use AI right now with very little technical integration. Tools for copywriting, image generation, social media scheduling are mature and ready for business use. The result is a highly visible impact. Actually, content plus visibility plus velocity. You can go from posting once a week to posting daily across 5 platforms without increasing your headcount. However, there is a catch. This works only if SOT is in place. If you don't have your brand, voice, and target audience documented, the AI will produce volumes of content that sound nothing like you, effectively damaging your brand at scale. A real-world example would be an e-commerce brand that uses AI to write product descriptions. If the SOT includes their specific eco-friendly terminology and playful tone, the AI becomes a powerhouse. But without it, the AI might use corporate jargon that alienates their young, hip audience. Start here, but start with your knowledge first. So to build a marketing SOT, we focus on 4 building blocks. First is brand identity, which defines your mission, values, and detailed customer profiles. This tells AI who it is talking to. Second is brand voice, where you specify your tone and provide do and don't language. For example, do you use emojis? Do you use industry slang? Or not? Third is the brand gallery, which contains your on-brand visuals, and this ensures that any AI-generated images or videos match your existing aesthetic. Finally, we document your products and services, including specific offers and the actual outcomes that you aim to deliver. When you combine these 4 blocks, you create a digital twin of your marketing department. Imagine an estate agent. Their identity is luxury modern. Their voice is sophisticated yet accessible. Their gallery is high contrast architectural shots. And their services are discreet high value sales. With this SOT, an AI can write a property listing that sounds exactly like their top agent in seconds. Without it, it just sounds like a generic Zillow ad. So how do you know if you do have a knowledge gap? Look for the symptoms of missing SOT in your current AI experiments. The most common one is the internal feedback. This doesn't sound like us. This happens when the AI uses phrases or a tone that feels alien to your culture. Similarly, you'll hear, these images aren't on brand, when AI-generated visuals look too stock-like or use the wrong colour palettes. More dangerously, you'll find the AI making wrong assumptions about your processes, telling customers that shipping is free when it isn't, or suggesting a workflow that your team doesn't actually use. All of these lead to one major problem: an inconsistent customer experience. Trust is built on consistency. If a customer talks to a human who's helpful, and then an AI that is robotic and wrong, they lose faith in your brand. Consider a dental practice using an AI chatbot. If the SOT doesn't specify that they don't do emergency weekend work, and the AI books a Saturday appointment, you've just created a logistical nightmare and a furious patient. Documenting the SOT cures these symptoms. So, how do we actually do this? We would recommend you follow a 3-stage implementation journey. The first step is to assess your current state. We look for gaps across the 4 areas we discuss: sales, delivery, operations, and support. We interview key staff to find out what knowledge is in their heads, but not yet on paper. And once we know what's missing, we move to stage 2, build. This is where we create SOT assets. We don't just write documents, we create structured data that AI can easily digest. And finally, number 3, we integrate. We take that knowledge, use it to power your content, your automation, and your support systems. Think of a manufacturing firm. In the assess phase, they realise only the shop foreman knows the specific machine calibration settings. In the build phase, they document those settings in the SOT. And in the integration phase, they build an AI assistant that can guide any junior technician through the calibration process perfectly each time. This type of journey turns your hidden expertise into a scalable digital asset. We're currently in a unique historical moment we refer to as the competitive advantage window. Right now, AI adoption is accelerating, but readiness lags. Everyone's talking about AI, but very few are doing the hard work of building their source of truth. This creates a massive opportunity for you. Early movers deploy faster and stay consistent because they have the foundation in place and ready. While their competitors are still struggling with hallucinations and generic outputs, the early movers are already scaling their operations. Conversely, late movers stay stuck in trial and error, wasting months on tools that don't work because they never fixed their knowledge base. Imagine two law firms. Firm A spends this month documenting their winning argument patterns in an SOT. Firm B just buys a legal AI subscription. By next month, Firm A has an AI that can draft a winning brief in 10 minutes. But Firm B is still spending hours correcting the AI's mistakes. The window to be Firm A is wide open right now, but it won't stay open forever. Strategy is about timing, and the time for readiness is now. So let's wrap up. Look at your next steps this week if you can. Don't try to boil the ocean. Start small. First, conduct a quick inventory of documentations versus tribal knowledge in people's brains. Ask yourself, if our lead salesperson left tomorrow, what knowledge would we lose? That's your starting list. Second, build your marketing source of truth first. It's the most accessible area, and it provides the fastest feedback loop. Document your brand voice and your key offers. And then third, pilot one AI use case in, for example, content or support. Pick just one thing, maybe it's your weekly newsletter or your top 10 support FAQs, and see how the AI performs with the source of truth that you've built. Once you see it working, you can move into the broader cycle to refine, to standardize, and then to scale up. For example, a small accounting firm could start by documenting their onboarding checklist, step 1. Put it into a source of truth, an SOT, step 2, and using an AI tool to draft the onboarding emails for new clients, step 3. Once that's perfect, they move on to the next process. And that's how you build an AI-ready business, one brick at a time. Thank you for your time and attention today. We've covered a lot of ground, from the reality check of AI implementation to the practical building blocks of a source of truth. If you feel inspired, but perhaps a bit overwhelmed by the technical hurdles or by the procedural steps, we're here to support you. If you're looking for a trusted AI solutions company, then DDM can help you with custom AI consulting and implementation support. We specialize in taking businesses through the exact journey we described today. Assessing your knowledge gaps, building your digital assets, and integrating the right tools for your specific context. Whether you're just starting to inventory your tribal knowledge, or whether you're beginning to pilot a complex automation use case, our team of experts can ensure you avoid the common pitfalls of generic AI. For example, we recently helped a logistics firm reduce their customer service response time by 70%, How did we do that? By building a custom SOT for their complex shipping rules. We love to do something similar for you.